Welcome to Free Fall RC Podcast.
All right, welcome to another episode of Free Fall RC Podcast. I'm Steve, and here with me is Kevin
Hey guys.
and Andy.
Hey, now.
All right, this is episode 328, outfitting a new build.
All right.
All right. Before we get into that, let's catch up with everyone's week. Who would like to go first? How about Ian?
I'm an idiot.
Yep.
Oh, he didn't show up.
No, he's
Didn't
not
make
here
it
this week.
today. Yeah.
The entire world has pissed him off, so he's giving us the big FU. No,
Yeah.
he would never do that.
Well, I mean, Did
Never.
you see that?
Not
Did you see
yet.
that massive meme drop that he did? It was like him
Yeah.
and Mark Bishop, and he did like it was like all the memes that you've ever done. Oh man!
That was
After
pretty
all
good.
that, I mean,
I hadn't
of
seen
course
that.
he hurt himself.
What did he do? Wear himself out earlier
I think
today? Now
so.
he can't do the show.
Yes, I think that's how he hurt himself, and you know.
Mm,
So Ian, feel
put
better.
a blister on
you
his
know?
finger.
Yeah.
Yep.
All
Got
right.
George Jetson finger.
hmm All right.
So who's
What's
going
going on?
first?
How about you, Kevin?
I'll go. Sure. What the hell?
Yeah, do it.
Dude, I had a great time this past week because we're recording on Tuesday and I've been off for 6 days straight, man. Been like the first
Nice.
time I've been off for this long in a long time. Can't even remember when I was just like
Nice.
strictly on vacation. Probably Christmas and probably not even Christmas at that point. Yeah, so after we got done recording last week, I picked the wife at the airport Tuesday night, and then we were off to SeaWorld. We drove up there Wednesday. We stayed in a hotel, went to SeaWorld Thursday.
Nice.
It was something cool. We just chilled
yeah.
out,
How
walked
was it?
around. It was really good. The weather was really nice.
Nice.
Roller coasters are roller coasters. That's fun. We like doing that. I mean, we're
They
not
have
that.
roller coasters at SeaWorld?
Yeah, there are 4 of them now.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And some of
Cool.
them are pretty cool, and some of them are
Pretty big.
older, and some of them are pretty big. But what I found most interesting, man, and I don't know why it affected me so much this time, was just to see the animals, man. Like, we went to a couple of the shows. The first
Yeah,
thing we had
you
to
did a
do,
dolphin and
yeah, we
at
did
the
all the
show?
shows that they
Mhm.
have there, and they have
Mhm.
3 of them now. Interesting, because I've gone to these before in the past, like, man, many years ago. I've gone to these shows and everything. And at first it was all about the penguins. Gotta get the penguins. Gotta go see the penguins. Penguins. We get in that freaking penguin thing, and it's 32 degrees. And my wife is like, I gotta get out of here. It's freezing. And I'm like, we just got here. We're just looking at penguins for 5 seconds, and now you gotta get out of here. Yeah, I'm too cold. I'm like, all right, well, you leave. And I took some pictures, and it's just penguins standing around. But it was cool. But the shows, that's what really got me this time, man. Like, I just found it super amazing. I don't know why. So this time, more, maybe I just appreciate it more. But what they can get these animals to do, and I never knew they naturally do this type of stuff. Like, they naturally jump out of the water to like search to like get an eyeball into their surroundings. So it's not like they're going out of their way to teach them something,
but
that they
to
don't
do it on
normally
command,
do. But yeah, do it on command. And then
Yeah.
some of them are like wagging their heads around when they do stuff. And, the whole standing on the tail thing with dolphins is pretty cool. And it's just, it was cool, man. Then got to see the whales, the killer whales. And they don't have anybody in the tank with these killer whales anymore because of all the problems they've had with them. I don't know what tipped them off. I mean, their name is Killer Whales. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, and we saw the sea otters and the sea lions and all that kind of stuff, and it was fun. We just chilled out, had a good time, went out to dinner, had some food, some drinks, and then came back, and I got a chance to go flying. Really windy times. But man, I dude, I freaking got super low because they haven't been cutting the grass at the field because they sprayed or something and they don't want to cut it yet or some shit. So I'm like, well, I'll go down and I'll cut some grass with the Oxy 5, you know? Dude, I got super freaking low and I didn't purposefully do this, but it worked out where like I just nicked the ground and sent dust into the air, you know, because it's like probably sand underneath all this stuff. And
Nice.
I was like, holy shit, did you guys see that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and everybody's like, no, I didn't see it. Do it again. I'm like, forget it.
Do it again.
Yeah. But yeah, flew 690, man. Just normal, you know, weekend for me. And as far as flying and just still having a good time with the Helis, man, flying. I didn't bring a plane or nothing. It was just like, I'm going to go flying and then do barbecue. I came back and we did barbecue and stuff. Maybe that was Monday that I flew. Anyway, it was one of the days of the weekend. But I wrenched on my RC crawler. I did some more work on that, which is coming out pretty cool. I got like a Jeep body I put on that. And then I took advantage of Maniac's batteries in their Memorial Day sale. They're 10% off, and nice. I bought a couple of batteries for the 690.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I bought some 4045C 6S batteries, 2 of those.
Okay, that's the blue ones, right?
Yeah, because I believe so. Yeah. I don't need 70C because what I'm running right now is like I have a set of 4100s and I have a set of 3700s, and I can't tell the difference in flight times between them. So I was like, let me get the 4000s. They'll fit in there nice. And
yeah, and the C rating between those and the bigger ones was not that significant, but the weight was considerable. So you made the right choice.
Yeah, I don't need anything.
Yeah, I would have said the 45 or the 55 C packs are good ones too. The black ones, yeah.
Yeah. So wait for those to come in, and I bought a bunch of other things, but it was like Jeep related stuff and just stuff for the PC, and that was it, man. Who wants to go next, man?
Speaking of PC stuff, is you guys keep up with this? Have graphics cards and components come down in price since the crypto market's crashed?
GPUs have come down significantly, yeah.
Yeah.
Since I heard. Since like 3-4 months ago, yeah, they dropped probably about a month ago. Because what happened was Ethereum mining got to a point where it was no longer profitable. So you got the scalpers getting out of it. You got all the miners kind of getting out of it. Basically, it was the scalpers.
What I'd heard, so I wondered if it was a good time to buy one.
Yeah, and coming in August, Ethereum is going to merge. I don't know with what. Whether it's like Ethereum 1 or 2, but I know there's going to be a change in Ethereum. So I don't know if that's going to change the GPU market. Mm-hmm. But then you got the 40 series coming out also. So
I'd probably just get last generation.
Yeah, I'd like to get a 3080. They're still roughly at Newegg. They're around $800, but that's like down $800 from like 2-3 months ago. Like they were insane.
Yeah. Cool.
And that's a really good card. You can get a 3090, but you're sucking so much amperage out of your power supply at that point, you know.
Yeah, I need to build a rig, or maybe talk someone into build one because I don't know shit about it. But I need a better computer setup. I've been waiting.
Computer.
Yeah, I need a desktop.
Newegg's got a pretty good like build tool on their website. Mm-hmm. It's not too bad. But I've been watching that Gamers Nexus now for a while. Like when I first started watching them, half of their show I didn't even understand. It was so over my head, you know.
Yeah.
But they're the ones that have been really good on testing stuff and holding companies accountable for what they claim their products can do, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I should probably look into that because I don't think doing it would be all that difficult. It's knowing what to buy that will all work together good.
Right. And what they do is
about that.
They like they just did a like last month did a thing about I know we're getting off topic, but they did a thing about a $5,000 Alienware PC that was pre-built, and when they looked at a lot of the specs, the airflow was so bad on the case that they Alienware purposefully or Dell I think is one who built it. Purposely
own it,
throttled
yeah.
back.
Yeah.
They throttled back the CPU
Right,
settings.
clocking, the bus speed.
Yeah, the frequencies. Yeah, a lot of it just so they basically turned like they're up to the 12 series chips. They turned a 12 whatever it is, say 1260 into like a lower grade chip, like a $200 less chip. The performance of it.
Oh wow.
By doing that, so that's why I watch these guys, so you can kind of figure out. Because there's things you want to consider, Andy. You want to consider, like, do you want a really quiet PC that's going to sit next to you? Do you want good airflow, which is, one or the other, sort of?
I want both of those.
Is liquid cooling, like, I mean, that's pretty quiet these days, right?
Yeah. I didn't go liquid cooling only because any system you get, you're going to have to fill up at some point. So I don't really want to mess with it. But I got the PC in the closet now, so it's really great. I don't hear it. I wasn't hearing it before. I got a Fractal Torrent case, and I went with a 12600 chip and all that stuff. Goodness, 690 motherboard. But like I said, the Newegg, I kind of did a little bit of research on everything, and then kind of went through Newegg's build list, and
I'll have to check that out.
Just amazing nowadays because hard drives are no longer mechanical, like they're all solid state, like and they're on board.
That's all you're gonna get. Don't get
anything ridiculous. Yeah, no. And then the speed of them is so much better. And
get the onboard.
Zero.
Maybe I'll just figure out how much it would take to bribe Kevin into putting me a list together.
Probably not much. Give him a
budget. Yeah, I could do it. I mean, I could give you the specs on what I got here.
No, I want it better than that.
Okay.
Yeah, top of the line of today.
Yeah.
Not
That's your bullshit last year model.
No,
I want a good one.
How many generations old is that now? Gosh, you need to update your
That's
shit.
true, yeah. Once you buy it, it's outdated. Very true.
All right. Sorry to get it off topic. You reminded me of that.
Yeah, cool.
Cool.
So did you go, Andy?
No.
Are you going? Am I going?
I'm going. Shut up, Steve.
All right, go.
It's my turn, damn it.
Do it.
So I lied. I did not do any wiring on the Spectre V2. It's not been touched. There's currently about 1/8 of an inch of dust on all of it because it's not moved in months and months. But, however, I did get out and fly a bunch this past week.
Oh, nice.
Did ya?
Yeah, I put in like 2 flights on Saturday and about 8 flights on Sunday and a couple flights yesterday. Nice. So I got a pretty good amount of flying in compared to the last 6 months. So I was happy with that.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. It was I don't want to say that it wasn't like I forgot how to fly, but I did take it kind of easy the first flight or two. But a lot of things seemed much easier and looked a lot better, like my aileron TikToks, the like half pyro flips I do seemed a lot cleaner and better. I realize this makes 0 sense, but some of my hurricanes and funnels were way worse. Like some of the different odd orientation stuff was, you could tell I was rusty.
Right.
So it's weird. Some things were better, some things were worse. Did a bunch of autos. Autos from the right coming in were fine. Autos from the left coming in were kind of rusty. I was landing like 20, 30 feet away from where I wanted to, like out in front of myself and this and that. Did some like inverted dismount autos coming from right to left. So that was pretty cool. Did a few of those. Gotta say that Goblin Raw landing gear is pretty durable. I had a few bouncers there.
Which one? The standard one?
The standard one, yeah.
Yeah, the standard one's diesel.
Like I was bouncing it like 10 inches in the air a few times, and they held up, no problems.
You can bounce that, boom strike your helicopter, come down, land on it, and the landing gears will still be fine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've considered the lightweights, and then after doing a bunch of
I've broken
autos. I'm like,
several.
yeah, they'll probably break.
I've broken
Smack everything.
several for sure in crashes. So
Yeah. So it was fun. I'm gonna try to get out and fly every couple days, at least a couple flights. I've got to order some more battery trays because I think I only have 2. I might have 3, but I've got a bunch of packs because I got the ones where we did the battery tests, and I bought some more Maniacs and a couple more of the HRBs. So I have a ton of packs. It would probably be nice if I could just charge up like 4 sets and then go out and knock out 4 flights real quick and then go back to work.
Yep.
I'm going to try to do that. It's fun fly season here, so I got to practice and not be a complete total douche when I fly. So
you're going to practice that not being
goal.
a douche?
Yeah.
Nice.
Good luck.
That's my goal. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. Oh. So yeah. What about you, Steve?
I'm glad you flew.
Yeah,
me too.
I'm worried that you haven't
I
been
didn't
flying
ranch,
or
but I
doing
have done
anything else.
something.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, so this weekend I didn't plan on actually flying, but I don't know. The stars all aligned. Bob's Burger came out, that movie, and my wife and daughter really like watching the show together, so they want to do like a girls' night or girls' day type of deal. And I'm like, oh, perfect. I'll go fly on Saturday then. Because I have a couple friends down at RCHO. But yeah, I ended up texting Jimmy on Friday, and he was like, oh, I'm at RCHO. So yeah, basically I spoke to the wife, and Saturday they're going to movies. So I said, okay, I'll take Hunter and I'll go to RCHO for like, for a day. So yeah, I got down there around like 10 o'clock, 10:30. By the time I got there, I don't know. There's a bunch of people there. I didn't know they were having like I don't know if it's an event or an unofficial thing.
It's just hanging out.
Yeah,
Memorial
but like
Day
there are a
weekend.
couple of folks with campers there. So Dan was there with his camper. It was good to see John Allen, Tyson, Sherman, and then like Tanner and a bunch of folks that are normally there. Of course, Jay and Leslie. But it was good. Jimmy and a bunch of other folks too. It was good. It was a good amount of. I think it was maybe about like 12 or 15 of us. It was a good crowd there.
Nice.
But yeah, I got a chance to fly the 580 Raw a couple times. And then I brought 3 nitros. So the 580 Raw, got my 8S packs. I got to put those cycles on them,
Mm-hmm.
And then I brought 3 nitros. And so the 580 right off the bat, I started up and I'm having some issues with it for some reason. It just like, as soon as I start loading it up, it just stalls. I don't know if it's something with the tank or something with fuel delivery. But as far as I can tell, the fuel's it's not sucking in fuel. Like, if there's an air bubble there, it'll just sit there. It won't get through. So I got to take a look at the fuel system. And so I'm going to do that and just, double check the motor build, make sure I didn't like put the piston in wrong or something. But yeah, I got to do, so that one was kind of like, okay, I'm just going to put it away, bench it. So the Raw Nitro HD. Yes. So I got the maiden out of the way and, I tightened up everything in fluid. It was good. I went to go fly it again, and I stripped out the starter cup on it.
Oh man.
So, people are like, "Whoa, how'd you strip that out?" I'm like, "Well, it's used. It was off my black nitro, and I don't know how old it was, but I guess it was on its way out because it basically started once, and then when it started again, it just went that screeching noise from the Sullivan starter, just rounding it out in there. And yeah, it was pretty much done. So I put that away and I busted out my other nitro. And yeah, the raw nitro 700, the regular raw nitro 700. So that had a little crash the weekend before. So that got fixed, and this was like a remaiden. And yeah, I flew it. It flew good. I had to do some blade tracking and kind of do some little fine tuning on it, but overall it was great. I did figure out a problem why it stalled on me last time and it crashed. So I've never seen this before. Now I've seen the opposite. My high needle was 2.5 turns out. My mid needle was 2 turns out. No, 1.5. Sorry. Default stock 105 settings. Break-in settings, right? Factory setting. And I flew it the first time and it stalled. I'm like, what the heck? It stalled again. And it made a little pop noise, and I'm like, shit, did I blow it? Let's take a look. Look at the plug. Plug is perfect. Not a mar on it, nothing. Looks perfectly clean, looks brand new. It's not that. And I'm like looking at the needles. I'm like, okay, let me double check the needles again. And I've seen needles back out and like come out of the damn helicopter. Come out and over. I've never seen a needle turn itself in. It was at half turn out from close. Yeah. So instead of being 2.5, it over the flight turned itself to half turn and it stalled out.
How is that possible?
I have no idea.
I've actually seen that on a Harley Davidson. That happened to a friend of mine. We thought somebody was messing with his carb, but we actually the vibration
even
got
with
to
the
it
retainer on there. It was
with the retainer, but what I noticed, the retainer was there, but it wasn't. When you click,
oh, it's kind of being out a little bit.
Yeah, you hear like a click, 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 like and you feel it, right? It didn't have that feel to it. It was bent out like a little angle, so it was never sitting like in line with the notches.
Oh, so it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't retaining. It's like riding it.
So it was just riding it, and as a vibration, it was just like click, next.
You're lucky it didn't like just lean itself out enough
the other way.
It blew up. Like,
well, the other way would have been fine.
Well, the other way
would have been it would have been fine.
Right,
but going in, it could have got like super hot, super fast.
And it was like 95, 100 degrees that day. It was super hot.
Damn.
But I turned it and I pulled the whole thing out. I bent it, I made sure it was straight. Put that piece back in, put the needle back in.
I guess that could be a PSA. Check your needle retainer things because they can get bent out and not hold. Like it needs to click, like be a positive engagement.
Yes.
And that's one of those like 25-cent parts that can ruin your motor.
Yeah, exactly. Ruin your whole helicopter.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it crashed the helicopter and boom, I chopped the boom off and, landing gears were broken, blade grip arms, like the normal stuff that you deal with in the crash.
But Steve, you have finally figured out the key to success with nitro and not being frustrated with nitro. Just take 3 with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have 3, at least one of them will fly at least a little.
Out of 3, you'll at least get one to fly. Yes. Guaranteed.
And it might break, but you'll get a couple flights out of it.
Exactly. You'll get your nitro fix out of it for sure.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Yeah, no problem. So that was that Saturday. I stayed probably about like 5 o'clock and then I had to get home,
Mm-hmm.
What else did I do? Oh, so Sunday, Monday, and today, Tuesday, I've been putting some stick time in on that M2 Neo. I don't know what got over me. I don't know. I think it's because like last week I was flying the M1 around a bit and just kind of flying that small micro again. Kind of was like, oh, well, I can work on circuits and the things that I should be working on, right, to get better. And I crashed my M1 really badly. Like the frames are shot, like they're done. It's like 4 pieces. So I busted out the M2 and I was flying that. And from Sunday through Monday, I probably got about 30 flights in. I've been, I have 5 batteries. Nice. And what you're talking about having 4 or 5 batteries, that's key. Because I would charge up those 5 packs.
Just go bust them out.
Boom. Like I would put something in the microwave for lunch, go out, do 5 flights. Hopefully I'd last 5 flights, sometimes 3 flights in a crash or whatever. But, I'll get 3, 4 flights out of it. Fix the helicopter, but I'll bang out all 5 flights, then charge all 5 batteries, and then after work get another 5 flights because it doesn't get dark here till like 8, 9 o'clock almost.
Yeah, right.
So I, from 5:30, 6 o'clock, I can still get at least another hour worth of flying in the backyard. Especially not having to go anywhere, just going outside flying, and I can tend to the kids and wife and everything. So yeah, I got like 30 flights in, and
nice.
This whole like flip flop thingy that I just do, just like I'll just like flip, and I'll turn like one direction, then flip. I'm starting to get really used to where I can do them aileron and just sit there and roll the helicopter aileron rolls in place.
Nice.
A little bit messier, but a little bit nose left as well too now. So like, I'm working on that, and circuits.
Mm-hmm.
Circuits have gone a lot smoother, and my transition from like doing an upright backwards counterclockwise to that inverted clockwise inverted. I can keep the altitude like same, like I can make that transition where the altitude doesn't drop now. Like
Yeah. Nice.
it's really cleaning up just from the stick time, like putting in all the flights. So
Nice.
man, that M2 Neo, man, it really does pay its dues, man. It really does. It's a great helicopter. I can't speak less about it. Like
Yeah.
I think that's probably done more help for my confidence and flying skill than a sim has, because it's real life. I'm doing it in real life, and I'm learning in real life. So
Right.
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. I would agree with you. Makes
Nice.
sense to me.
So that was my weekend. Now let's get into the main topic here. So outfitting a new build, a new helicopter, huh?
What are we building?
What's a new helicopter? I haven't had one of those in years.
Well, I mean, if you're a Goblin fanboy, the latest scheme.
No.
Maybe add a blade. I don't know.
That 6 months went by fast.
Maybe throw a nitro motor and an existing airframe. Maybe, I don't know.
Nice.
But the Nimbus is something recently that came out. There are some gas or conversions that a lot of people are excited about these days that are coming out. So I think like a 600, 700 size build, give or take your nitro electric. It's all let's call dealer choice, whatever you feel like building out personally. Like for me, I'm going to talk about building out a new 580 raw nitro, since that's going to be my next kit, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about that.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. What about you guys? What helicopters are you going to be building next, or thinking about building that you want to start thinking about? What components do you need to get, to outfit this and be prepped for that airframe?
I got a Goblin Raw Gasser. I got a Protos Max V2 from like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I got a what else do I got? I guess that's all I currently have that's not been started on. But I have more coming. We'll get into that a little bit later.
Well, I'm going to say Oxy Flash, and I'm still holding out for that.
I think that's going to come soon, man. I think it's coming soon.
Yeah. I mean,
how are you going to set it up, Kevin? What are you going to buy?
Well, I'm probably going to buy a motor and ESC. I'm going to sound like Ian. I'm going to buy a motor, buy ESC. No, I'm probably going to go X-Nova motor, though. I like X-Nova
motor
stuff.
Right. What motor?
So for Flash, that's a 700 millimeter max, and it's I think it's supposed to be pretty lightweight, right?
Yeah, I think it's 690.
I think
I think it's a 690 or considered a 690.
Yeah. But knowing that, like, what would you do as a motor size? Would you go big can, small can?
Well, on my 690, I have a Scorpion motor, but I like the Scorpion. It's been good. I just don't know. I like the X Nova. I don't know.
What size motor?
Yeah.
I'm thinking like 45-25 or something like that, if I have that right.
Yeah, that'd be plenty.
Probably 530 kV. And the X
I'll
Nova makes
a smaller one than a 45-35. I think.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't use it, and I'd probably go, with the X Nova. They make the two. They make the Lightning and the
the XTX or
XTX. I'd probably go with the XTX, just because, save a little bit of money.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely gonna go Hobby Wing ESC. I wish they made 100 amp ESC that could handle 6S or 12S. Sorry, but
they have
I'd go with the 130.
They have like
I have an 80. No, wait, 80? Didn't they have a new one?
I thought they had a new one. Yeah.
I thought so, but I didn't think you could handle. Well, it's not.
The 80 can't, but I thought
it's not a platinum though, is it? I don't remember. Like I have
the 130. I'm thinking of the
V4.
155 that will go like 8S. I think it won't go 12.
Yeah, I might be thinking that as well. I thought
there was something new.
Or it's the Scorp. Scorpion maybe that made something.
Does X Nova have like an 80 amp that'll go 12S or something? Somebody had a 12S capable that was like 80 or 90 amp that was smaller and lighter than a 130.
I think YGE does, but I think.
Yeah, YGE. What'd I say? X Nova. I meant
Yeah,
YGE.
you said X Nova, so I'm like, huh?
I meant YGE.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm an idiot.
That was for me. Wait, no.
What the hell, Andy?
What the hell,
what
Andy?
the hell, Andy? Yeah, so I'll probably do a 130 hobby wing because I think I actually have one of those still.
Yeah, sure.
And I do have a Scorpion motor too, still laying around.
Yeah, I think a 130 would be perfect for that.
Nice.
And the MKS servos, dude, I'm not sponsored by them or anything. Just I've had them in the 690 for the longest time.
You go with the X5s or the X6s?
Dude, I don't even know what's out there.
X5s.
Yeah, the
like
X5s, the black ones, they're like
X5s, they're $100. Nah, they're like 110 now.
Yeah.
They got a shit ton of torque.
Yeah, I'd probably go with that.
Strong gears and everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd probably
a little bit slower, but I mean, you're a little bit slow, so it should work out.
I am a little slow. I've never re-geared the Helis from like whatever stock they are. I've just flown them. I haven't, only because I don't think I would know what I was, know that I think that I was good enough to re-gear it and feel any difference. Maybe now I'd mess around with it a little bit.
Well, it depends on your gearing would be dictated on by what head speed you want to run. So
right. And
if
I'm
you want
at
to run 1800 or if you want to run 2200, it would require different gearing, really.
Yeah. I might want to ramp it up a little bit. I don't know. Just when I fly that 690, I'm only at 1950, I think, head speed, and it seems quick enough for me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are times with the Oxy 5, I'm like, I need to get a little more oomph out of this thing, just because I'm more quicker with that model, and just I don't know, maybe because it's more quicker, I'm more responsive or
what head
with it.
speed do you normally run on your Oxy 5?
Oh man,
do you know?
I think I changed Bank 3 just recently to like I upped it a little bit. I don't know though. I don't know what it is. 21 maybe? 2021? Maybe that doesn't sound right though.
That's not very high, but that's about my Bank 3 on mine. I think it's like 2150. But you can run those on up like 23 or 4.
I think it's 21. I think I was doing 2021, which doesn't sound that high now that I think about it, or now that I'm comparing it. But
yeah, on a 550, it's not.
I think I'm in Bank 3. I think I'm at 21 now normally, which originally when I bumped it up 100 RPM, it was like, holy shit, like this is way too much for me. But now it's just like, okay. It's amazing, dude. You want to go back and tell yourself from like 5 years ago, keep doing it, man. You're going to have a lot of fun in 5 years when you get through all those parts you're going to replace. And
yeah,
you know what I mean? All that shit you're going to smash into the ground. But that's probably what I would do. What about you guys? Did I cover everything?
Yeah, maybe. Use a buffer pack.
Yeah, to use a buffer pack.
I love
or a backup system, I guess. Not necessarily
I love the
buffer pack, but
the capacitor pack. I love that thing from Aero Panda.
Yeah, it's so great that we got options with those now too.
And I only had
Guard and the Pulse and the does Pulse
Scorpion.
make one?
Scorpion makes one. Pulse makes one, I think. Doesn't Scorpion make one too?
But yeah, I don't know if they still do.
Those are
but just in the capacitor
ones,
I think.
Ones anymore,
okay. Just in the capacitor style.
In capacitor, we got the first ones from Aero Panda, and then the X Guard from Augie Copter. I think the Pulse is a battery, correct, Steve?
Pulse is a battery, so is the OptiPower and Scorpion.
OptiPower, yeah.
Yeah, I don't recommend the battery power. I'm sorry. It's a battery. It's a small LiPo that can basically get out of balance and then blow up on you. So it's just
Yeah.
not worth it.
The capacitor ones are pretty fantastic.
Dude, I
They're-
gotta totally agree with Steve, man, because I had the one for a while, the OptiPower, and it was great. And maybe it was me that forgot to,
eventually it just happens.
and
Batteries
screw
get
it
old.
up. But then I bought a brand new battery, and within 6 months, that thing was trashed on me.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
not worth it. Capacitors are the way to go.
and I've only had one glitch with the capacitors, and that was, I mean, I flew that Oxy 5. People that listen to the show know I talk about it every week, like ad nauseum. And I freaking flew that thing for like year and a half, maybe 2 years. Never had any problems with it. I took it to Miami in the first flight. I plugged batteries in, and my ESC was flashing red, and it didn't like boot up normally until I removed the capacitor pack, and then it was fine. And that was the only time it ever happened. And it had to have been the capacitor. Maybe the capacitor was the voltage at the wrong time for it. I don't know. Maybe it sensed something.
I don't know. Maybe something
external.
went wrong with the capacitor, but
I've been running it ever since Miami. So now another, like, whatever, 6 months. When was that?
So you plugged it back in after that, and it's been working fine ever since.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, every time I plugged the battery in, it wouldn't boot up. It wouldn't go through the tones. And I had a little red LED flashing on the side of the ESC. And until I unplugged that capacitor and ran it without it, it was fine.
Was the capacitor on?
Yeah, it was on. Then I shut it off, like did a discharge, left it. It was just weird. I guess it was just sensing something.
I wonder if it didn't turn off. Like, I don't know. But it was off, right? Like, before you plugged your battery in, the Heli was off, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a normal weekend. Take it out, plug it in.
Your capacitor back thing really didn't like Miami.
It could be, too.
I don't know why, but something down there it didn't like.
Oh, and I had something weird happen this weekend, too, with that damn helicopter. Where I booted it up, and one of the freaking servo horns was just tweaked. And I don't remember it crashing it, and I was trying to move it, and there was no way it actually moved. And I was like,
weird.
That's weird. Like, they're all like at 90 except for the one. Every time I booted it up, it was like at almost a 45. And I'm like, I don't remember crashing it. Maybe I autoed it and it came down hard, but I don't remember it coming down that hard. Or
did you take the link off and move it and make sure it had full range?
Well, I took the link off and put it at 90 and then flew it. And it was fine
to see if it.
I checked. Well, I powered it up and I checked to see if I could physically move that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't moving at all. It was pretty tight on there, so I don't think it jumped at all. Bizarre.
What service you have there?
Those are KSTs, I think, on that one.
That's weird. It's weird to be off by that much unless you stripped out the servo horn.
That's what I thought. I was like, all right, so that must have, but I couldn't budge it. And I'm like, oh, that's weird.
See, what I would do, the very first thing is I'd take the link off with no power, and I would move it and see. Like, you could obviously tell if the servo horn had jumped, because it would go further one way and not far enough the other way with no power on it. The first thing I would do.
The servos have a stop.
Well, that's those. I don't think they do, because
they don't.
The one flips around a lot when I pack it up and put the blades together.
I don't think I've ever had a servo that didn't have a stop.
The one flips it around, and if I don't catch it, I can boot it up that way. And now the servo is like 180. Yeah, that's like
sounds bad.
Yeah, it doesn't like that either. But that was really weird, and I can remember that happening to me on the Oxy 3, I think, one time, long time ago. So I don't know. Maybe it's something. I don't know. I'll have to keep my eye on it.
Yeah, keep an eye on it.
Very strange. Yeah.
Maybe it's user error.
Could be too. I wouldn't be surprised. User error. So what about you guys? New Heli. What are you putting in it?
All right, let me go, I guess. So the 580 nitro, I want to build that. I'm like sponsored by like every freaking company now, so it's like hard to kind of say. But servo wise, obviously it'll be Theta, right? I gotta go with my sponsor brand, but I would opt for the DH1, TH1, the low profile full size. I think those are excellent servos price wise. They're like $110 or whatever. They're in that price range, and they're not as quick and strong as full size, but they're right there. But I like the little bit bigger gearing, having a little bit bigger gear set, than the minis. So I'll go with those. And being a nitro, be a 55 HDR, with no West power boost pipe. If it was an electric helicopter, let's say, I would definitely go with an Eagle Drift. If I wanted to not do an 8S thing and do like a 580, let's say electric, I would do a 4025 HT motor. I think if I were to build the 580, not with my 8S, like if I was just 6 or 12, I would go 12S, I think, on that. Because I do like the raw 580 as a 600, and same thing with the raw 580 nitro. It's going to be a 600 for me. So I'd rather have a little bit more power, on the electric one at least. So
I gotta try flying a 550, 580 sized heli with 12S because I've never done that, and I've always I had the 570 that was on 6S. The Oxy 5 I love it's 6S, and it's 550.
Remember my 570 KSE? That was 12S. That was a screamer, and I ran it like 90% throttle because I didn't know any better.
And that's like what I'm saying. Like I haven't experienced that yet, so I don't know if I'm missing out on something or not.
I think you'd appreciate it more now because you can probably dial down the head speed and still do what you do, but like get a really good long flight time, like 6 minutes and stuff on it. As far as other components, fly rollers, I do prefer Neos. That's my fly rollers of choice. And blades, I would go with 600 switch. I don't know, XF or non-XF don't matter to me. I can't tell the difference with my flying style. Definitely a first RC or X Guard, whatever's available. Buffer pack, 100%. All my helis. Well, let me rephrase that. All my electrics have buffer packs. Nitros, I don't think any of my nitros now. Not one nitro has a buffer pack. You're running a receiver pack.
Yeah.
I don't know that unless you use like a jumper connector, which I don't anymore. I don't really see anything ever going bad with that. As long as you make sure your leads are good and they're all,
Wait, didn't you have a buffer pack on that one?
I did, but remember I didn't program it, so I didn't program the on telemetry, so it didn't matter that I had a buffer pack.
So you're just dead weight. You should get rid of that.
Yeah, it just prolonged the ending instead of doing it instantly. It did it 30 seconds later.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see. Beyond that, I don't think there's anything else I would get.
I didn't even mention blades.
Yeah, like as far as like an optional thing on the 580s, you can go up to 24 millimeter main grip arms. I probably wouldn't bother. I think 27s are fine. So yeah, I would pretty much leave it like that. Just factory with 600 size blades and with that configuration of electronics.
I don't know what you guys think of this statement, but like I was gonna say, to me, the switchblades are like the equivalent, and not in quality or anything else other than availability, to the Zeals. Like when I used to get Zeals a lot, I just could get them quick and easy, and they were like, can replace them. But nowadays, like the switches or I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that, but they're available. I can get them. You can get them in any size you want. And
I like them. They're nothing fancy, but
they get the job.
They're solid.
Just get the job done.
Good old blades. I mean, like I said, they're nothing. There's newer blades with newer things and different shapes, but they're just good old standard blades. I like them. But
they sound good. They perform good. When they when they let you know, like when they start fluttering bad, like they're letting you know something. While other blades, they flutter and you're like, I don't know, you just fly through it, it's fine. So I don't know, I kind of like them. Obviously, I've been
I do
flying
like
Switch for a
the
long time.
Azure Power ones that I got, or Azure.
I haven't
Yeah,
tried those.
Yeah, I haven't tried those either. Probably should.
And next time I
I heard
smash up the
you have to
Oxy 5,
adjust.
maybe I'll put on some switch blades just see if there's any difference.
Yeah. Have you tried back to back with those? Because I heard that you do have to like adjust your helicopter a little for those blades. And
No,
I
I
kind of feel
haven't.
like the SABS slides were like that too when I put them on my nitro. I had to adjust there.
I went right from the Lynx blades on the Oxy 5 to the Azure blades, and that's it. I haven't.
No change on settings.
Oh man, I'm setting myself up for a big crash, but yeah, I haven't plowed it in again since. So I've only gone through the. But I should buy another set and just check it out.
Yeah.
I'd go ahead and order them right now since you're going to smash it this weekend.
Yeah. Okay.
That way they'll be here.
All right. Let me get on that.
Oh. So is it my turn, I guess?
Yes.
I don't like. I have these new builds, but I'm just going to kind of go with my generic 700 setup. I'm really digging these MKS X5 servos. I think they're fantastic. They're super strong. They're a little bit slower, but I tease Kevin, but I'm slow as well, so I can't tell the difference. And they're inexpensive. They're super strong. I really dig those. I like the X Nova motors, or possibly Ego Drift. I haven't flown this Ego Drift that I'm putting in the Spectre V2, but I think both of those are solid choices. I mean, Scorpion's solid too. Typically, I go with a 45-25 just because that suits my flying style. I don't need the big giant can motors. I tend to like the lower KV stuff because I like to gear for lower head speed. And a lot of helicopters will only go so low with the pinion or the pulley. So if you can drop down in like that 520 or even a 510 kV, you get a little more options on the low end. Fly barless, still rocking the Brain 2, Icon 2 with the Jetty radio. It's kind of my go-to stuff. I've got all the other different ones, and sometimes I use them. Sometimes I mess around with testing and stuff, but kind of my go-to is still the Brain / Icon. Blades, whatever I got. I already got tons of blades. So whether it's probably switch or rail, or I still got some Cyclones. I've got Revos. Probably just whatever. I guess if I bought a Goblin, I would fly the blades it came with to try those out, the S lines nowadays. Otherwise, just something out of the box. Additional components, I definitely run the capacitor backup systems on all. Really, for me, anything 550 and bigger, I think needs a backup.
Yeah, I agree.
I've got the small capacitor version on my Oxy 5, and then all the 700s get the full size. It's a little bit of extra weight, but it can absolutely save your helicopter. I don't think I've ever actually had to rely on one yet. I guess I've been lucky. And then gearing to suit whatever head speed I need. I usually gear for like a 2000 RPM max or 2050, something in that range. And then I end up flying it at like 1900, 1950.
Yeah. That's a good call out of the gearing. I didn't mention it. I'll do one and fly that 580 as a 600, so I would have to get the other,
Yeah, it's definitely something to consider that a lot of people don't seem to think about very much. Is their motor KV and their pinion or pulley. I guess if you're just going to run whatever, then I don't guess it matters. But if you specifically want to run a lower or a higher, you might need to go up a pinion or up a pulley if you want to crank that 2300. I guess that's it. I'm usually just run stuff kind of stock as far as the canopies and stuff. If there's an especially annoying canopy attachment and there's an aftermarket thing that really helps, like a quick connect, I would look at that. It seems like most things nowadays already come with a decent system with quick connects or something, at least the ones I've used. It's really not been an issue for myself. I tend to go with the bigger tail blades. I go with 115s on my 700s. Get a little more tail authority running at those lower head speeds.
Yeah, good call out. That's something I want to try on my Raw 700 is bigger tail blades.
Yeah, it handles them really well.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I guess that's it. Anything I'm missing?
No, I think that's it. I mean, I guess there's other components that I probably missed, like switch glows and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of funny. More recently, I had an issue, I think, with my raw nitro 700. Like the wire frayed on the switch glows to where the GST connector is. So I just ended up just zip tying it and ripping the other part out, and I just use a stick starter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It's not bad doing that.
Nah, it's fine.
Like I know it's annoying if you have some motor issues and you kind of have to stick it in, and then it stalls again. You got to do it again, but
and you're gonna forget it on there a few times. It's gonna take a ride. Hopefully, it doesn't fly off. But other than that, it's not bad.
But yeah, so I'm thinking it's not that bad,
It's another thing you got to remember to get from the house and make sure it has a battery in it or charged or whatever.
Right. So I do have two in my battery bag, my battery bag that I carry around with my nitro starter and everything. So, and I try to keep those charged whenever, because they're nickel metal, like they're older,
Yeah.
Old drivers, so you could just charge them up and keep them charged. But yeah. Cool. I did also put this thing, building a 600 versus 700, if obviously we're building kind of helicopters or we're speccing out our electronics and things specifically for a helicopter we have in mind. But if you were building a 600 versus 700, if you had your components, which airframe would you go with?
700.
Right? I mean, because 600s can kind of hold the same components, or you can save a little money on it. But yeah, you go right to a 700.
They cost almost the same, but they're not near as big of a heli.
Yes. Right.
That makes sense.
What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say the same thing, especially after last week's show where we talked about size and, I can definitely tell a difference between, 550 and 600 or 690. So 600, 700. I would definitely go with the larger size.
I guess if you're on a budget or something, everything on a 600 costs a little bit less, but just a little bit. Like blades are like $20 cheaper. Batteries are going to be probably, depending on how, if you're buying 3000s or 3500s versus 5000s, I guess that could be a significant amount of money over a couple sets of packs. But servos and everything else is almost the same. I mean, it's a little less, but what do you think? You save a couple $100 over the build?
Maybe 100, maybe 200 max.
Yeah. I would much rather fly a 700 than a 600 personally.
But let's say, so I think that makes a difference for, that's your, right? That's for you.
Yeah, that's just my opinion.
Your opinion, right? I think for myself, I would agree. 700 all the way. 700 is the shit. You ain't gonna find anything better, in my opinion, really. But I think for folks, there are different levels of pilots out there, and you and I have been in the hobby. All three of us been in the hobby 7+ years now at this point, and we're pretty established with we don't crash every single helicopter every single time we fly. That when we go out to the field, we crash once in a while, if once in a blue moon. So I think a crash of a 700 is something that happens once or twice a year for me. Sure, I can, whatever. I could swing the extra cost in blades and extra cost in, pancaking batteries, things like that. But some pilots might be crashing more often. So that 580 size, that 600 size might be way better for
I
them.
wonder what the difference is on parts prices. Actually, that might be something we need to do a comparison of someday.
Yeah. Maybe do like 3 brands. Let's not go too much. 3 brands, SAB, XL, and one other brand, and do like their 550 or 580 size versus their 700 size counterpart, And,
what other
that's
brand?
Hmm?
What other brand?
Well, Logo
Tron.
still has a 550 and a 690.
That's true.
Yeah, but they're old, though.
That is
Like the
old.
Logo 700 is like what? The latest Logo 700's 4 years old? Not more?
Parts for them.
We didn't
I'm
say
gonna say
anything about
unobtainium,
age.
but I guess you can probably order them somewhere, but I don't know where.
I don't know.
What, the Logo stuff?
Yeah, Logo parts. Aren't they kind of hard to
Did you
get
get from
now?
Mikado USA? I thought.
Yeah, you can get them from Mikado, no problem.
I thought they were out of stock of everything always.
No. I just
Okay.
actually looked up not too long ago to try and get some more parts for I was able to get stuff.
It was just kits and Neos then.
Neos.
Maybe it's everything but parts they could get.
Yeah.
But you could do
Alright,
Tron.
not
Tron's
bad.
a good one because I don't know how many people are.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
Tron. That was my other one I was gonna say.
Yeah. Okay, we could do that.
So maybe we'll do that. Okay. All right. Let's move it on to the next topic thing or next part.
Sure.
Ian's not here, so no tech tip.
Nope.
Yeah. So Kevin, what have you been
Yeah.
watching?
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude! I watched a movie last night called The Ward with that nutcase Amber Heard in it, and it was weird. It was like a horror movie.
Yeah.
It was. I liked what they did as a twist at the end, and it wasn't too bad of a movie.
Is it like an M. Night Shyamalan twist?
No.
Oh.
No. And dude, I watched 2 episodes of Kenobi, and freaking
Oh yeah.
the path they took, did not think they were going to go down that path, and so I don't want to spoil it for anybody because I would be pissed if somebody spoiled it for me, but it was very entertaining.
Yeah, I
found it very
enjoyed it
good.
as well.
And I don't know if everybody out there knows this, but I'm old, and I grew up in 1977 watching Star Wars in the theater, the original episode 4. Saw it like 7 times in the theater, and it was freaking awesome, and I've seen it about 700 times since.
Yeah.
So my point is, I'm a huge
Nice.
Star Wars fan, and seeing
Yes, you are.
this show was actually pretty cool. But I would
Yeah,
really
it's good.
love to experience it though through somebody's eyes that hasn't seen it in the order that I've seen it in. Like the not the release order, but the actual chronological order, the time order. Like somebody that watched episode 1, 2, 3, and
Yeah, my
took their
son
thoughts
did.
about it.
We did that. I couldn't decide how to do it when he watched them, so we just did them. He wanted to do them in order, so I don't know if that was the right decision, but that's how we did it.
I think it's better to go through 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, you're probably right, actually, but he liked the prequels because he was a little kid and they're bright and flashy and whatever.
Yeah, they're more like visually better than obviously.
Yeah, they're better for like a 6 or 7 year old than they are us.
Well, that's my point. I would be interested if somebody that watched that noticed the difference between like the CGI and then the lack of that in 4, 5, and 6. You know what I mean?
He still enjoyed them though. Like I think he really dug.
Oh, sure.
Dug those. I think the one argument I would say if you don't know anything about Star Wars is starting with 4, go 4, 5, 6, is because of the big, Vader Luke reveal thing. Like you miss out on all of that if you start 1. Like you already know everything about Vader.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
And that's a huge.
It's very mysterious when you're watching Empire and you don't know anything about it, it's like, ooh,
Right.
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you watch 1, 2, 3, you're like, oh, that's that annoying ass whining ass kid.
Awesome.
All right, cool, Kevin.
Yeah,
Some
so 2
horror
thumbs up
movie
for
with
that, man.
crazy Amber Heard and Kenobi.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right. So what do we got next?
Okay, let's move to news and announcements.
All right, let's do news
And
announcements.
I know
every time. We can never get that correct.
Here, let's just say this. If there's only 2 of you guys, I'll do the end.
Yeah, of course. That's the way it should always be. Yeah. Kevin always says news. I always say announcements. Ian says and when he's here. And if he's not here, you say and. It's so simple.
Yeah.
Damn it, Kevin.
Gosh, wait a minute.
What the hell, man?
What can you write that down for me? Text that to me? Fax that to me?
Fax that over to you.
Yeah, I'll fax
that right over. What's your fax number?
No, put your phone on the modem and I'll email it to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bing.
All right. In news, Supra X has come out with some new clamps for their soldering helping hand stations.
Amps.
They've made a couple different versions. I think the last one had the little spring. I don't even know how to explain it. Like these little spring holders that you could put a wire and a bullet or something in.
Yeah.
But these are more like your traditional alligator clamps, but they're very nicely machined flat clamps. And by that, I mean they're like a needle nose plier, but more of a wide nose plier, and they have serrations inside, but they're very small. It looks like they would work absolutely excellent to hold your wire and your bullets without destroying the insulation like regular alligator clamps.
Oh, and I got to see the translation.
That makes sense.
It's all in Chinese. I got to see the translation.
Oh, boy.
The first one is great. Hey, I'm not a poker player who doesn't give too much unity. The bow has to have a sense of ritual.
What?
That's the translation from the Chinese.
That's not what I got.
No, I'm just going to see translation and it's translating it.
Mine says small hand with multiple angle assist. Hold your pen fixed until you deliberately finish the welding work.
The reply to what I read says, passengers are tired of patenting and all with your RC funds and your footprints.
This is pretty funny, though. What if the player you think is just an ordinary needle? Then don't waste your time researching delicacies.
Yeah, that's the one I saw on the top. These are great. I love this.
It says applied voltage 16 to 6 gauge. What?
They get better and better. This one says, good East-West shirts can have a subliminal version.
Why are you reading that? You're reading comments.
You can't help but conquer the charm of your opening. Awesome. I freaking love it.
Shit. Here's one that says send a pack of clouds, I guess.
Oh shit.
Oh damn.
I have a new pastime.
Mm-hmm. Wow, 1,000 hands of TikTok. I want to collect it.
I wonder if one of these is Gray Eagle. Pork fried belly. I want it. Oh shit.
Oh god. We suck. Probably going to hell. I really dig these clamps, honestly.
Yeah, same. I want them.
Look them up. I saw them on Facebook.
They remind me of pliers that we used to have when I worked for the phone company, where we called them chiclets, where you stuck 2 or 3 wires into these little encapsulated like gel filled things, and you would clamp them down. We had like needle nose pliers that were cut off at the end and then ground down on the inside of the pliers like a little bit to have like a void so they wouldn't completely come together.
Yeah.
They kind of remind me of that.
The part number is RCA2218A. Auxiliary clips. Yeah, these look cool. I like them. I absolutely hate the regular alligator clamps. I always end up putting heat shrink, and then that eventually wears through, or silicone like fuel tubing or something on them. Then your wire always tries to like shoot out the end. Just annoying.
Yeah, it's a good alternative.
Yeah, these are great.
Yeah, gotta get some.
All right. Next up, the SAB Raw 580 Nitro is the perfect machine for nitro enthusiasts, offering the same incredible performance of the Raw 700 Nitro in a smaller package.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, seriously, I've been waiting for this one for a little while. I talked to Shannon today and told him to put me on the list whenever he does his order, because I need something to replace my N556 that I crashed and never rebuilt, because what's the point? And I think this will be a good replacement. Use my OS, I think it's a HCR 55, and whatever other electronics were on that thing should all translate over, I'm pretty sure.
I believe so. Did you have full-size servos or minis?
I might have had full size. I don't remember.
Yeah, then make sure you buy the adapter.
The thing. It comes stock for minis.
Yeah.
I might use the minis out of my Oxy 5. I think I'm going to sell it, actually. I don't fly it that much anymore.
Oh, man.
Yeah, okay. I was just about to say, I just never been a big fan of the 550 size. Now I realize I'm talking about buying another one, but this is nitro and that's different.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm a big fan of 600 size nitros, because I am not a big fan of the cost of nitro and the 700.
So
7 flights a gallon.
Let me ask you a question then, that all the listeners are probably dying to know. Why not just buy an Oxy version of nitro, a nitroxy or whatever they call it? I mean, they don't have spare parts.
This one. I'd just rather have this one.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to sell my Oxy 5, so how am I going to have spare parts?
Well, if you kept it, you might have some spare parts. I don't want to keep it. All right. Okay.
Quit trying to talk me out of it.
No, I'm not trying to. I'm just asking why.
I think a lot of the parts are the same, but not all of them.
Just asking. You would ask me if the shoe was on the other foot.
Oh, absolutely. I would ask you and then mock your answer.
Yeah, give you shit for it.
So that's all fair. Go ahead. No, I just I think I like this one better.
Well, if you're gonna sell it, let me know. I might buy it from you.
Well, I'm gonna sell it. I meant to sell it like 6 months ago, and then I'm lazy, so I haven't done anything with it. I'll make you a good deal, Kevin.
All right.
Yeah.
They're saying main blade lengths 550 to 600s. The S-line 580s are included. Tail blades 95 to 105s. It comes with S95s. Your normal 50 to 60 Heli nitro engine, so your OS50, OS55, YS60, whatever. The weight they're saying is 3,080 grams or 6.79 pounds. That's ready to fly minus fuel. And obviously your electronics could adjust that. I don't know how that's set up and what components, but I guess that should give you a ballpark. 6.5 to 7 pound range.
Yeah, it's probably 7 pounds. It's gonna be like with your mini setup, you know.
Yeah.
If you go 600 blades with the full size servos, you know, you're gonna probably add a couple ounces, a half pound on there or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe it's more like your 6.7 to 7.3.
Yeah.
Realistically. Mini servos are standard, like you said. Upgrade to full size servo mounts is available. Tail servo is standard. Throttle servo is a mini.
Mini only, so be mindful of
That's
that.
a little different, yeah.
Yep.
Main rotor ratio 8.6 to 1 to 7.4 to 1, and 8.1 is included, which is a 26 tooth. That's one thing I like about the Goblin stuff. They always give you some gearing options.
Yeah.
I guess with
Yep,
that
both on the main
two-stage
and the
thing,
tail,
they
too.
always seem to have more gearing options than anybody else.
I
due
think
to
it's
that two-stage.
two-stage. Yeah, I think you're right.
Tail rotor ratio is 4.9 to 1 to 5.3 to 1, and it comes with a 23 tooth, which is a 4.9 to 1.
Yeah, never had any tail issues with that ratio.
Tank capacity 440 milliliters or 14.88 ounces. And they recommend an 1800 milliamp hour 2S receiver pack.
Nice.
So cool.
Yeah.
I'll do a little review on this, let you know how I like it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely gonna get one once I crash my Kraken.
Mm-hmm. Some more news in this thing that I copied off of my emails in the Goblin Kraken 700S, now available with 3-blade main and tail rotors. I don't know if that's news or new or if that's been out for a while, but it was in the email.
So it's the new canopy design with the 3-bladed setup. So that's
okay.
You know, in Goblin World is new.
So you can so it's the same model. You can just buy it now from factory with 3-blade setup.
Yes, with the updated green and black and a little bit of blue canopy scheme. That new canopy scheme. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yep. You know.
Comes with the S line blades, I guess now.
Yep. Matching set of S line mains and tails, and then it also has that updated raw 700 transmission gearbox. You know.
The helical gears.
Yeah. Oh, it's also you know, not a. I don't know. Was it 3-stage before? Because remember your main gear drove. So like you had your motor driving the main gear, and then your main gear drove another pinion that drove another tail pulley on the raw on the original Kraken 700 design, and then on the raw they combined it back into being part of the main gear.
Okay.
Right? Like the motor pulley and the tail pulley.
I wouldn't say that's a 3-stage. I would just say it had the tail output in the gearbox.
Yeah, like a 2.5-stage type of deal, kind of deal.
No, it's a 2-stage with the tail output in the gearbox. Because to be a stage, it has to.
But the gears.
It has to move it up or down to the main.
Yeah, boy, do I remember this conversation.
To main, to then tail. Isn't that
right?
Three?
No. Well, I mean, it might be, but that's not how I would consider it. If it's a stage, I consider it moving the ratio up or down to whatever it's going to.
It's not the final destination.
The tail is a whole nother thing.
It does do that, though. I thought it does do a gear ratio from the main pulley, not the main pulley, but the inside the transmission, right? The enclosed transmission. There's a gear and then there's another gear. So wouldn't that be a stage? And then you have your tail.
Correct. But that's a separate stage. That's not. You can't add those up. They're like parallel stages.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. So 2-stage.
I could be wrong, but that's the way I always understood it.
Yeah.
Like a 3-stage would be 2 different reductions.
The only reason I'm saying it's 3-stage is because it's going from one gear to another gear and then to a pulley to a pulley. So, but yeah, I guess it's 2 still.
It's 2 twos.
Yeah, 2 twos. So yeah, 2-stage. Cool.
Arguing for the sake of argument. I love it. We accomplished nothing.
Nope, absolutely nothing.
Kevin fell
Wasted
asleep.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh shit. All right.
Yeah, but these specs are pretty much all the same as the previous Kraken 700, right? I don't think there's anything different. Maybe the weight.
Yeah, I don't know. There's what are they? Do they have a weight in here?
No, I don't see a weight from what you
Yeah.
got listed here. But I think all this stuff is
It's gonna be a little heavier.
Yeah. I guess the maximum blade length might be shorter. It's only 700 millimeter blades, and tailbane's only 105. Is that what it comes with, or is that max? Wonder.
I don't know. Because what's the Kraken run normal? It can run. I don't see why the length would be any different.
The head might be bigger.
Is it though?
I don't know.
I've never been around a 3-blade, so I didn't know if it's bigger or the same diameter.
It might be the same overall diameter. I don't know. I thought it might be bigger just because.
Maybe it is.
But I don't know.
I believe that's what it comes with, though. It might very well be able to fit bigger.
Yeah, like some 720s.
Mm-hmm.
Seems to be like the number nowadays, like the bigger size, like the bigger end of the 700 be the 720s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought it was like 716s back in the day, 715s, and now it's like, spin. Let's just add 5 more millimeters. Cool. So, all right. I guess let's move it on to what's next for you in the hobby.
Yeah. What's next for you, Kevin, before you fall asleep?
Baseball.
Well, surprisingly, that conversation was still more exciting than watching Steve Shaw fly. But so this weekend I'm probably going to be flying with Steve Shaw. Man? Yeah. And no, actually, yeah, I'm going to be flying probably this weekend.
Okay.
That's what's next for me. Don't know what else this hobby has in store for me.
You going to fly an airplane?
I'm going to fly an airplane. I got to find some there was a cheaper alternative to foam tack that I actually found at Home Depot. I got to see if I can find that. I found it years ago, and it's like in a tube because I got to repair that 300. I found I think one of the ailerons is coming off, or was a part of the wing was coming off. I'm gonna need that if I want to fly it.
Okay. Could you use something like a Goop or that E6000 or something like that?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Instead of
I think it was the E6000 is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was, actually.
You can get that Bob Smith brand foam glue, kind of like the same foam tack, same thing. I think it was less expensive by a little bit, but it also came in a way bigger bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's considerably less.
Any contact cement, that's pretty much.
What it is. Yeah, there was something I had that was in like a toothpaste tube, like a giant version of that I got at Home Depot that was just about the same as foam tack. I got to see what it was. I know it was foam safe and all that stuff.
Probably just use shoe goo, to be honest.
Yeah.
There was a guy flying a Mamba 60 though at the field this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Pretty good pilot. But I've seen him. I think this is version 3 or 4. He's gone through a few of them because he taunts the ground quite a bit. Like he was doing knife edges like really close to the ground.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And yeah. And he almost put it in the pond at one point. He even was like, "Oh, geez, I didn't know if I was going to pull out of that one." He was like spiraling down and pulled it out at the last minute. But it was cool to see it. It's that's a big plane, man. I can't fit that in my Jeep. Like that's a pretty large plane. But I got the other version, which is flying great, man.
Cool.
So I'll probably be doing that. What about you guys? What about you, Andy?
I'm gonna try to fly some more, like I've been doing the last couple of days.
You should.
And I might wait and see how deep the dust actually gets on the Spectre before I touch it.
Okay.
No, I'm probably not gonna do that. I'm almost done with planting season. I got some wheat to harvest and then beans to plant on that, but kind of getting caught up. So I should be having a lot more free time. Which means no more excuses. I gotta finish this stupid ass thing. Hurry up and get it off the table because I got like 3 more Helis to build before I get a 580 raw nitro, whatchamacallit.
Right.
It's too many projects. So that's what I'll be doing.
Yeah, and I want to actually see if I can get my Oxy 3 flying again, maybe this week, because Steve's got a good point about what he said earlier about. I got a bunch of batteries for that. I got a spot real local I can fly. It's like I could literally walk there.
Yeah.
It's like a mile away.
Yeah, even in like if you're in a subdivision, they have like a little field or something, something small, you can just go to a baseball field and crank out 5 flights real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or me crank out 1.5 flights because I crash after that.
Okay.
All right, cool. What about you, Steve?
So I got some nitros to wrench on. Yeah, figure out why those two are, well, I know why one of them. Replace that starter cup and then figure out why the 580 nitros just, give me some issues. So I'll probably strip that motor out again in the tank this time and kind of go through everything and make sure there's no, one ways that are bad or something that might be causing it, or rip it in a fuel line or something. So I'll figure that out. And
what motor did you say? What engine?
The 55 HCR. I tried cleaning out the carb, thinking the carb was jammed up.
So I have a
regulator, I mean. And that didn't fix it, so.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to just tear it apart again and just go through it again and see what I did wrong. I'll figure it out. But beyond that, I'm going to fly the M2 Neo. I'm going to try to make it a thing where I fly it at least, 4 or 5 flights every day.
Mm-hmm.
This weekend, I don't think there's anything going on as far as fun fly stuff or anything like that, but there is a little event I'm going to go to the following weekend. So, Jimmy, my friend's going to be having a little cookout, little get together. I guess this will be a part 2 since I can make part 1 since I broke a rib that time. So I'm going to try to make it out there. Andy, if you can make it, that'd be cool. You know the details, but it's
let me know.
Probably like a 3. I mean, how far is RCHO from you?
5.5.
Probably about an hour less than.
Okay.
Maybe like 4.5 hour.
Yeah, let me know.
Maybe
I'll be able to do that.
Yeah. So yeah. And also, during this podcast, I just booked a hotel for Dragonfly. I was looking at some RV shares, and I was talking to a couple people, and they wanted like $300-$400 for like 2 nights, and I'm just thinking like, I could book a hotel for like $60 a night, and I'm okay with shitty hotels. So there's one that's 15 minutes away in in town, kind of 2 towns over, right past Tobaccoville. So, shouldn't be a big deal. So got that going.
Speaking of that, I don't think I'm going to even be able to go at all to Dragonfly this year. Yeah, so Tima's brother is getting married that Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
So I had in my mind I was going to go Thursday and Friday and then come home Saturday morning, but I don't think that's going to work because I guess they got a rehearsal thing, dinner on Friday.
Right.
I don't guess I'd really have to go, but I kind of should. So I might just have to skip that. Yeah, I might just have to skip that one. Which sucks because I really like Dragonfly. It's one of my favorite events, actually. So I don't know.
But definitely try to come out to Jimmy's at least. I think I'm trying to get a bunch of the same folks that go out to Dragonfly to come out to Jimmy's.
Yeah, let me know. I might come down for the day or something.
Yeah, I'm definitely do a day trip for that since
all right,
I have something the next day. So.
And I think since I'm gonna miss that one, I'm gonna try really hard to get up to the Ohio event, the Nighthawks thing, whenever that is, middle of July.
I think it's the first week of July, or second week of July, and then free falls the last week of July.
Yeah,
so 2 weeks apart. So I think it's the second week of July.
I was thinking like
I'm gonna try to make that
14th or something. Does that sound like right? 14th?
Yeah, because mine's the 28th, so that would be
okay
after.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go to that. I enjoyed it last year.
Yeah, I'd like to go just to support them, and
Yeah, it's kind of a far drive, but it's a very easy drive.
Yeah.
Don't go through like any cities or really. It's just like interstate up through the country.
Mine was Philly, I think. I had to go
Oh,
through
yeah.
like Fredericksburg and all that shit.
Oh, shit.
But I'll figure a way. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I can see if yeah, I'll figure it out. Cool. All right. That's all of us, right?
That's it.
All right. Listener pipeline.
We have no new voicemails, unfortunately.
Oh dear. Okay. Are we doing the wrap up? Did we do the wrap up last time?
I guess Steve
We
Shaw
skipped
retired
it last time,
and
so
then
I guess
retired.
we should do some wrapping up. We didn't do it last week because Kevin wasn't here.
Right. Couple weeks behind. So let's do a wrap up. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna do the Facebook likes here.
So like I was saying, I guess Steve Shaw retired and then retired from the show. Retired from leaving us.
Well,
he's too busy building helicopters
yeah,
now,
he's
right?
really busy now.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Okay.
right? And airplanes
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah.
Like all of it.
You know what happened to him this weekend? He forgot his canopy. I said, how the hell did you forget your canopy? You have one helicopter.
Yeah,
And you
how do you
forget
forget
your
your
canopy?
canopy when you don't put it
You
on the
forgot.
helicopter?
Like,
Did he fly without it?
yeah, and then he went home and got his canopy.
What?
I was like, you forgot 25% of your helicopter. How do you do that when you only have one?
By the way, the Ohio Heli Throwdown is July 15th through the 18th. Oh, shit, that was last year.
Yeah.
I
So
just
one day
said
on
that's
14th to the
2021.
19th.
What the hell? Why don't
Duh.
they update their webpage?
What the hell, Andy?
What the hell, man?
What the hell?
Right, what do we have here? We actually have some likes here. I'm gonna have to take a count because I'm recognizing names I don't recognize, or I'm seeing names I don't recognize, I should say. We didn't do it last week, so we've probably done it 326, I think. Oh yeah, we
Sounds
did.
about right.
Nick was the last one. Let's see who we have. All right. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Holy moly, we have 7. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who's running the ship over there at Nighthawks Field, but the last post on their Facebook page says Merry Christmas. So I don't know what the hell's going on.
Well, I think it's Gucci. He's just too Gucci for Facebook these days, you know.
So Merry Christmas, guys.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Damn it, Gooch.
All
Get your shit
right.
together.
He's too busy driving.
Yeah, driving to all these fun flies, man.
Yeah, you can't be bothered.
Okay. So we are at Facebook likes. We are at 1402. That's +8 this last 2 weeks.
Wow, broke 1,400.
Yeah, we
Finally.
broke 1,400. And there's some names that I recognize and some names I don't. So first name on the list, we have Dan K. Reed. Awesome.
Nice.
Adam Burkhart. We have David Hoskins. Ooh, this
I know
one's gonna
Dave.
Yep, I know Dave. This looks to be interesting. Wendy Gideon Gumi. I think. Lamar Santiago. Jason Weber. Charles Harris.
All right.
And, this name's funny. And we have a Lazy Looper.
Lazy Looper.
Lazy
Nice.
Looper. Yeah. All right.
Nice.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Wow, that's a big boost in the last. I mean, that's a big boost we've seen in the last 6 months.
Yeah,
I'd say.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Okay. Facebook comments. What do we have?
Well, dude, I don't know how far back we got to go. Did you guys read any of these from last couple weeks on the last show?
I didn't think we didn't do last week.
No.
Definitely.
So size matters. On that post, we got a few comments. Bill Anthony, or William Anthony, or Bill Ann, or whatever you want to call him. He said, I'm going to miss hearing Ian on the show. What a shame. You guys should have been nicer. Let's see you create a tech tip on the fly. Nobody replied to that, but I'm going to reply now. Bill, we create a show on the fly every week.
Yeah. Yeah, not just a tech tip.
All we're asking
Whole
is
episode.
one damn little tech tip.
Yes. all the parts of the episode.
And or if you're not good at doing it on the fly, just do it ahead of time.
Right.
Just don't try to do it on the fly if you're not good at it.
All right. And Lou Mazurek said, idea for a future show, if you guys haven't covered it yet, beater birds or birdies. What helis do you have and love, but don't give a shit about?
All of them.
I like that.
Somebody that's a good idea. We should do that.
Yeah, Steve commented, like it. Definitely do this one. Chris Rybert posted the answer to what is your favorite heli size. I'd have to go with 550 size. Back in the day, my T-Rex 550E was my first big heli. Once you get a 550, it feels and flies like a big heli. I believe it's the best all-around bang for the buck to learn and progress on. You can go budget build or high-end electronics. Use a variety of 6S packs ranging from 33 to 5500 milliamp, depending on the model. My current 550s in my fleeters are Synergy 516 Stretch and Nimbus 550. I've owned at least 2 dozen 550 size helis, and I always have one in my fleet. Great episode as always, guys, and keep up the great work.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, and Chris he posted a picture of, a number of his helicopters. Yeah, he's gone through quite a few. And so reading on, Dan Balrigan, I don't know how you pronounce his last name. Ballargan.
Yes. Clubmate. He's one of my clubmates. Yeah.
All right. Well, ask him how you pronounce his last name.
Yeah, I will.
And then remember it.
I won't.
Have him speak it into your phone.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll just have him leave. I'll have him call the voicemail.
I was gonna say, have him call the thing.
Yeah.
He said, love hate 700, love flying it, hate how much I've spent fixing it. Thanks for pointing me in the right direction, Andy.
What did I point him to? You think?
I don't know.
That'd
be a 5.
And is that a sarcastic comment? I can't tell.
I don't know.
So, Dan, call in, tell us how to say your last name, and tell us what I pointed you to. Maybe getting a 700 because he
maybe
loves
a Spectre.
Maybe, yeah, that might be.
Maybe a Raw.
Maybe a Raw.
He did buy a Raw. In fact, he does have a Raw. He crashed it though. Yeah, and he said he didn't get a chance to fix it. Then he bought a Gowie, an X5.
Well, I did not steer him toward that.
Yeah, no, you didn't steer him towards that. And then he was flying it, and then it went in on a meeting.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that sucked.
That sucks.
That hit hard too. I remember the noise it made. It's like you can judge a crash by the noise it makes when it hits the ground, and sometimes it's like thunk, or like thunk, or sometimes it's like whack. You're like, oh shit, that's a lot of damage.
Sometimes it's like whack,
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's a bad one.
Yeah, like ooh. So I think that was a bad one. But yeah, cool. All right.
So the last comment on that post is Jamie Burkholder saying, I have to say that I'm a huge fan of this 550 size right now. This is most likely because I have more time and flights on it than any other size heli. In all honesty, this particular heli is the only 550 I've ever flown. My point here is that the bird a person flies the most will be the one that they are most comfortable with in the air. I love the 700 size, but at this time I always fly the 550 before I fly anything else.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jamie.
Yeah, thank you, Jamie.
Yeah.
I think that's the largest size. Does he have a 700 or no?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Oh, he does? Oh, okay.
Damn. He's more comfortable with his 550 because he's flown it more.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Whatever you fly the most, you get the most comfortable with.
It's interesting. I agree to that as well, but like something to add to is that for some reason I have it in my head when I go to the field, I always start off with the smallest heli and work my way up, no matter like.
Wow.
I don't know why. It's just something I have in my head. Like if I bring the M2,
a lot of people do that.
For some reason, I fly the M2 first. even though I have like a 580 and a 700, I'll fly the M2 first just to burn through those packs. I don't know why. I always start with the smallest heli and work my way up.
Yeah.
The only time I fly and start with 700 is if I only bring a 700, And
I don't think you're alone. A lot of people do that because they want to warm up and
something, warm up or something.
They might crash the smaller one I don't really do that, so I'm just curious why.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's something in my head for some reason. That's like whenever I bring them the smaller helis, I end up flying those first.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it is like a thing in my head, like, I want to warm up. But usually that first flight is the flight that I don't crash and
it's the best
fly the
flight
hardest.
Of the day.
Yeah. Right. So like it should be on a 700.
Mm-hmm.
But instead it's like on a 580, or usually if I bring an M2, it'll be the M2.
It is weird, but you say that my first flight is always the best flight.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know what happens. I start thinking too much or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start trying to like, I'm going to work on something.
Yeah,
and
I'm going to practice
yourself
this.
out.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's what happens.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get back to our Facebook comments here.
Yeah, so on episode 327, Rising Star is out. We had one comment from William Anthony. He said, "Oh man, when Andy said fishing is destroying our hobby, LOL." That was funny as shit, dude. I have to agree with Bill.
Mm-hmm.
And last comment on the Discord server post that was made. Dan Ballargan.
It's 5 weeks old.
Dan. Oh, this one's old?
Yeah, it's 5 weeks old because he saw my screen playing.
He said, "Thanks for the kid words, Steve." Probably kind words.
Kind words, yeah, I'm guessing.
I had a great time last weekend. Hope to see you at Spring Fling. Oh, it just came at the top.
I don't know why.
I don't know why it's there.
I think you might have mistakenly put.
Oh, it's
pinned. It on. This is our pinned Discord thing, so people can join.
Oh, okay. No, if you comment there, we'll read it too.
Cool.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. Let's see. What's next? Facebook listener post?
Oh, maybe. I forgot.
We have any of those?
I said I forgot, Kevin.
Damn it, Andy.
Like we might have something from Chris. That's 10 days ago. So Chris Rybert, 10 days ago, got some flights in last weekend. Shows a picture of some. Looks like a small balsa plane, like maybe Willy Nilly's kit, and then his Nimbus and what is that? Is that a 700X? Yeah, 700X.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then let's see. 10 days ago, Steve Wanberg says saw this and thought of Mr. Miata. It's like a Miata with some off-roady tires, and it's a little roll bar on it. But yeah, nice. I've been looking at my Miata these days, and if it wasn't 95, 100 degrees outside, I'm like, But yeah.
Did George contact you yet about coming?
No.
Oh, he said he was gonna.
Let's see here, and then they're all 10 days ago. It looks like. Justin Mahoney. You all should know who this is. A little hint: he hangs out in sunny South Florida, and it's a meme. It says, "You have to go back." It says you have a stash of unbuilt models to build, and it's basically, I guess, some guy waiting at the pearly gates.
Yeah.
And getting turned away because they have models to build.
Well, then Steve's gonna live to 300.
Yeah, he's never
Easy.
getting in.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's it. All right. What do we have for website comments?
I don't know. You got anything?
I forgot to look. I don't think we have anything.
No, I don't think so either.
I'll double check though if you want me to.
I saw voicemail, but you played them.
Yeah, so if that's all you saw, that's all we had.
Yeah, let's double check here. Yeah, voicemail. I also want to talk about Jenny Sullivan. Interested in outsourcer digital marketing, SEO, PPC, SMM, offshore? Garbage. Okay. let's move it on to then People Podbean.
All right, people of Podbean, we had a few things. We had a guy named Lance started following us. Richard the Fifth liked episode 269, Theta Servos with Ting Ming, and Heli Man liked episode 323, Hangover. Well, thanks everybody.
Awesome, thank you. And we have no new Podbean comments, so everyone's on vacation, summertime. People are getting out.
Oh man,
it's cool.
Oh, good. All right, iTunes review.
Oh, jeez.
We have nothing new on iTunes.
All right, good. Then I'm not even looking.
All right, good. So drop us an iTunes review. We'll read the review on the next episode. Email us at free4c@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook.com/free4c podcast. Check out our webpage, free4cpodcast.show. Say hi to Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Flight Test Forums, Off the Field, audio video production, other than Flight Test Podcast, Free 4C Podcast. Say hi to David Hill, a.k.a. Hill the Flyer.
Hey, Dave.
Hi, David Hill.
Right. Fellow podcasters, we got the Heliheads Podcast.
Hi, Heliheads.
Hi, Heliheads.
Maximum Collective Podcast.
Hey, Maximum. I don't know who that is. I don't know who's on that
Greg
show.
Ringle and Steve O'Connor
right.
and Gregor McGrath.
And Steve, yeah.
Greg Connor.
Jeez, how many times do I have to tell you,
And
Kevin?
Gregor
So
McGrath.
write it down.
Get your head out of your ass. Pay attention.
Oh, man.
Wow. All right. Telerotor Podcast.
My dad used to tell me that when I was a little kid.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
What, Telerotor Podcast?
No, get my head out of my ass. Pay attention.
Did you head out of your ass? Pay attention?
Yeah.
Was that before or after he said, shut up, sit down?
Shut up. Put your head up your
Right
ass.
before.
Talking too much.
Oh, shit.
Telerotors, 2 mics, a Rich, a Robert, and a Cliff.
I guess. I don't know.
And
Telemotor, I'll be able to tell you, but Telerotor.
Motors.
Kids up.
Frank Javier and Paul.
Yeah. Inverted Down Under. By the way, that's Kids Up episode with Steve Shaw.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Sorry.
If I have to hear that masturbating joke one more freaking time, dude, drive off a cliff.
I like how they had a guest on that did 85% of the talking.
Well,
Can't get a word in edgewise. You can't get a word in edgewise of that guy.
Yeah.
I liked it. I don't know what you guys are complaining about.
well, maybe I'll have to go back and re-listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get
that'll
over all the
happen.
Steve stuff. All right.
What I should do is I should just
Where
cut Steve out of that whole episode and then listen to that.
It was
See how-
like 4 minutes.
See how long it is.
we- Oh, that'd be a funny conversation. All right. Inverted Down Under.
That's
They're still
Ozzy
around.
and Jeff, if they're still around.
Houdini RC Heli podcast is still around.
There's Rich and Kenny
Okay, yep. RC Roundtable.
with Fitzterry and Lee.
Yes.
Yep.
RC After Hours.
That's with Andre, the Canadian,
Going up.
who is now not allowed to have any pistols. All right, just moving on. Don't even stop.
Okay. Park Flyer podcast.
Park Flyer. 2 mics and a J.
I think so. And
2
then
J's and a mic.
There's 2 J's and a mic, and then RC Plane Lab.
The Ron and Tom.
On and Tom in the morning. Yep. And then All Things That Fly.
Lucia Miller and Moose.
Yeah. Make sure you check out Bill Ann's YouTube channel.
Check out Bill.
Yeah, and his guitar channel. Oh no.
Bing, 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 bing.
Do a little harmonic. Bing, bing, bing.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks to our listeners, for us guys, and we'll see you next time.
See ya
Bye.
next
Bye,
time.
everybody.
I can't wait for Dragonfly.